What's up, you guys? Welcome to Conscious TV. I know I've been gone for a minute, and I would have been gone even longer than this because I had to literally force myself to do this video. I just do not feel motivated to get in front of the camera. The Supreme Queen's Court aired Monday. Once again, this is another guest I had never heard of. I'm glad that Madison is bringing all of these social media figures to her platform because a lot of the people she's bringing on are really good and really interesting and really funny, and I would not have ever came across these people had she not brought them on to her platform. Lonnie B was fucking funny. He was intelligent. He was shady. He was smart. He was sober. He was present. He was literally perfection. Like, Tokyo Vanity and Lonnie B thus far are my favorite. They've been able to give something to the commentary, and they've also had the wittiness, the cleverness, the shadiness, and just all the things that we love and that keeps us on the edge of our fucking seat. Lonnie B is kind of like more of what my personality would be if I ever did the Supreme Queen's Court. So that's kind of like the vibe you guys could expect from me. I really saw myself when I was looking at him. The audience participation was really controlled this time. The audience wasn't doing too much. They wasn't doing too less. They was just fucking right. The show was just right. Like, everything just really kind of ran really fucking smoothly. It was a really nice show. Lonnie B, I would love to see him again on Supreme Queen's Court. Maddie looked great as always. So, wonderful selection. Now, on to more pressing matters. People have been asking me about the Leandria situation, and one of the reasons why it took me forever to do this video, or I had to decide if I even wanted to do this video, was because I just feel like there are things that come up in our news and in the media. We're not just taking the conversations to places that I personally find fucking interesting. So first it was Brian Karn and his foolishness, and now it's Leandria, you know, and her cursing out the fucking church. But now the conversation is more about Leandria herself, and, you know, whether she's crazy, whether she's hurt, whether she's bitter, whether the passing of her brother has anything to do with this. And I'm just like, once again, a conversation that we could be using to talk about the actual condition of the church, the hypocrisy, the exploitation that goes on within the church, the idol worship that goes on in the church with these gospel artists and these ministers and these pastors who are basically worshipped as the living Messiah in the earth. Like, there's so much that Leandria said in her video, and now we are dissecting Leandria. First of all, let me say this: there ain't shit motherfucking wrong with Leandria, not a goddamn thing. Leandria ain't bitter, she ain't hurt, nor is the bitch crazy. The bitch is just literally telling it like it is, just telling it like it is. Leandria is just participating in the church and seeing the bullshit, and honestly just bringing voice to what we all fucking know is happening within the fucking church. For those of you who don't know who Leandria Johnson is, Leandria Johnson was a contestant on the first season of Sunday's Best. She then hooked up with Matthew Knowles. She began her career. She won Grammys for her music. She's a top-selling gospel artist. She then had a spot on Preachers of LA. She was known for her unorthodoxy, unconventional approach to ministry. She would go out on the streets and dress up like a hooker, and she would talk to the homeless and talk to prostitutes and streetwalkers about God. Sometimes she would hand them a cigarette just to kind of get them comfortable so she can have a conversation with them. She came under fire by certain Christians who just felt like she was out of line, that she was kind of enabling, that she was sending the wrong message, and that her methodology was completely off, even though her intention may have been good and may have been pure of heart. And so Leandria has always been one of those Christian figures who's kind of marched to the beat of her own drum, kind of like Kurt Franklin, and it's gotten her into a bit of trouble. But as of recently, Leandria took to her Instagram, took to her Periscope, and just started going ham, letting people know Christianity fake as fuck. These Christian niggas are fake as fuck. These pastors, these ministers, they got everything to say about the gays, they got everything to say about the LGBT community, and these motherfuckers is slipping and sliding in every asshole and slipping and sliding in every motherfucking piece of pussy that they can get in, that the church is a motherfucking fraud. Everything that We all know. And she used that kind of language. People were going in saying, you know, she distracted the public with the language that she used, because had she just toned down the profanity and the cursing and just kind of talked about the hypocrisy and the lies, then people would have been able to really hear her clearly. But let me just say this, it doesn't really matter how you tell truth. Truth is going to offend people who believe lies. And it doesn't motherfucking matter if you don't curse, if you do curse, how soft you speak, how aggressively you speak. If you in fact are speaking something that people are not dealing with and don't want to be spoken about, and you are talking about taboo subjects, you are talking about in-house issues on a public level, and you are snatching people's wigs and ripping the curtain back and exposing the inside of the house for what it fucking is, and allowing all the passerbys on the street to be able to look in and see it for themselves, you're going to piss people off. I think that when people get to talking the truth and motherfuckers act offended because of the delivery, that tells me more about you, the listener, than it does about the person who delivering the message. Because a bitch like me, I don't give a fuck how a message is delivered. The truth is the motherfucking truth. And I don't care how aggressive you say it. I don't care what type of words you use it to describe it and to articulate it. If what you're saying is in fact true, that's all that I hear. That's all that I receive. Because I am somebody who searches truth, who tries to live in truth, tries to speak in truth, and therefore when truth is communicated externally to me, that's all I hear is truth. I don't care how you said it. What you said was motherfucking true, and we gotta deal with the truth. But now, because we are a generation of distraction and we make the message about the messenger, this has become about Leandria's mental state. Ain't shit wrong with Leandria, bitch. Leandria got her coin. She know how to get on TV. She know how to sell records. She know how to dress. She's raising her children. Leandria is an everyday motherfucking person with everyday motherfucking senses. She's just fucking tired. She tired and she's willing to be authentic. There was no need to apologize because you spoke the truth, Leandria, and the truth is what it is, and guess what? It will set motherfuckers free. When Jesus was talking about eunuch men and saying that some men are made that way, some men choose to be that way, and some men are born that way within their mother's womb, and then at the end he said, let whomever can receive what I'm saying today, receive it. That was an instance of the Messiah, of the Christ, speaking its truth and just saying, bitch, whoever can receive it, motherfucking receive it. Sometimes you just got to speak your truth. We gotta stop being so politically correct and trying to shield people and spare people's egos, because it's people's egos that have gotten us into this motherfucking issue. The reason why your pastors are out of control, the reason why your ministers are out of control, the reason why your church house is out of fucking control, because y'all keep sparing the egos of people who need their egos motherfucking checked. And if the audience, if the congregation would get real with the shit, confront shit when they're supposed to confront authority, because this is the example that Jesus led behind. Constantly you see Jesus confronting the Pharisees and the Sadducees, going into the temples, going into the inner cities, and confronting the powers that be. The issue of the adulteress, he stood in front of them motherfuckers and let them know, hey, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. When the unclean woman came into the temple, he had to let them niggas know what time it was then. If people want to say they agree with what she said but not how she said it, okay, well then, what do you make of Jesus going into the temple and overturning tables, getting a whip and chasing motherfuckers out of the temple, kicking people out of the temple, throwing a whole temper tantrum because they had turned his father's house into a den of thieves? Nobody talks about Jesus acting the fuck up. Jesus also had very colorful language when he spoke about the powers that be and religious authority. He called the motherfuckers vipers, white tombs. Jesus had all type of descriptive ass unholy language for people who were holding holy positions and religious positions. If you are somebody who focuses on the delivery, you are a problem. You need to get over yourself and you need to grow the fuck up. And if you sit in there and be a petty ass motherfucker and get caught up in the nuances, oh she cursed, oh she said motherfucker, oh she said fuck Christian niggas, oh she said this and she said that. While you doing all that, the people who are suffering in silence, who she's trying to save, redeem, and give some hope to by using her platforms to highlight the abuse and the exploitation that happens in the church are fucking suffering, while you focusing on Leandria and whether the bitch is crazy and what the bitch said and how the fuck she said it. The people she's trying to save are still being left off of your priority list. So my question is, what the fuck are we, the people, gonna do about what the fuck we all know and have experienced for ourselves that goes on within the four walls of the institution of the church? What are we gonna do about that? Brian Kahn out here selling fairy tales and Twinkies to bitches, prophesying all of goddamn lies to whole nations and countries and universities, sticking his dick allegedly in the crotches of married motherfucking women, and then rolling around calling himself a man of God and having the audacity to speak against Leandria Johnson when he himself out here fornicating and adultering all day, every day. These are the people who you motherfuckers appoint as leaders. These are the motherfuckers who y'all still allow the church to pay to come visit and the fellowship and to come sing and praise and give a word to. Now mind you, every motherfucking man is imperfect, but there's a difference between involuntary perfection and then choosing to do imperfect things. There's a difference between fundamentally flawed, which means that it's inevitable that you will make a mistake. It's inevitable that you will fall short. And the difference between continuously putting your own tail in front of your feet and tripping over it. Y'all got people in the church who have wicked hearts, who have greed, ego, selfishness in their hearts and on their minds. You got people who addicted to fucking crack and cocaine and getting up on Sunday preaching the word to you. You got pastors and ministers who are sex addicts, fucking everybody but they motherfucking wife. Black people just suffer in silence. This whole slave ass mentality where we witness the master abuse our women and our children, and because we are disempowered and the law allows these motherfuckers to have power over us, we just had to deal with the rape. We just had to deal with the injustice, and our way of coping and dealing was to act like master didn't just fuck Big Bubba in the ass in front of all of us. But we're not gonna speak into that pain. We're not gonna speak into that trauma. We're not gonna talk about that shit and perpetuate the memory of that, because we don't have a place for that pain, because we're fucking slaves. And ever since slavery, we as black people and the way that we manage our churches and create our churches have continuously swept shit under the rug. In black families now, that slave mentality is still there. You know that your grandfather is a fucking hoe, but yet grandma still with his ass, and all of the kids, the uncles, the sisters, the aunts, the grandchildren just carry on. They talk about that shit, but nobody confronts that shit. Everybody knows that there's that one pedophile in their motherfucking family, but do we confront that shit? No. We just deal with it. Everybody is aware of it, but we don't go into that. We don't be direct about that. We don't confront that. Everybody knows that so-and-so done stole from this person, done wrote bad checks in this person's names. We don't confront that as a family. We don't deal with that as a family. Everybody talks about it secretly. Everybody is aware of it, but we don't do nothing about it. And then we wonder why there's so much fucking distortion and so much mutation in the black family dynamic. And it's because the way we engage. We are not confrontational people, and we damn sure not confrontational about the shit that we supposed to be confrontational about. I'm not afraid of motherfuckers getting in their feelings because you speaking the real shit, because real shit need to be spoken and real shit need to be fucking done. That's the only way that we gonna have strong standards of accountability. That's the only way that we gonna have lots of order out of all this fucking chaos that develops. But if we're not fierce about the standard, if we're not fierce about what it is that we're doing and how we're managing communities and societies and our businesses and our families and our households, then we can't complain that shit is out of order. This video has already been long enough, you guys. Sorry for leaving you guys for a week. You guys rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I will talk to you guys later. One.